Hello, welcome to my WIP and Chat. WIP meaning work in progress. I normally have a plan and like an outline that I like to follow, but today we are doing it blind. Oh my goodness, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, hold on. I feel like I've been sick for like weeks. We'll get into that. I also want to talk about the plans that I have coming up, what canvases I want to work on. I want to talk about my Fairy 6 canvas. This one's almost done. My Christmas or my winter bundle that I got from Enablers Outpost, and my birthday canvas. Yes. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marissa, and I make a variety of diamond art content. If that interests you, consider subscribing. Oh, I have so much going on here. Okay, so I have so many pens and so many things going on. I have been trying to figure out this ghost stuff. It's from Diamond Painting Daily. Isn't it cute? A little ghost guy. And Naomi has been using it a lot, and I really wanted to try it because I find it to be unique, and I love glue dots, and she said it behaves like that and lasts good, and it's supposed to be good for ABs. I've been trying to figure out how to fill it. Normally I fill it and it dries below that, and I keep having to like refill it, and it doesn't work very long for me, but I think this is just the learning process for it. So I have three filled different ways, different tips, and then in my little doodads on this side. Oh God, okay. This is the original Alien Putty, the blue, and then I used the purple one on this one, and I think I like the purple one a lot more. At least it seemed to work better for me just with regular drills, but surprisingly with the AB drills, the blue OG Alien Putty was freaking fire. Like, it worked so good. So I'm keeping the Alien Putty in there, and I might replace one of them with the purple, but it takes a long time to fill, so I might not do that on camera. Let's get into the canvas. This is my Captured by Radiance canvas, and it is the Inspired by the Five Winds by Jody Bergsma, and oh my God, it has been a pleasure to work on. I kind of want to, I guess, jump in. This WIP and Chat might not be as much of like working on the canvas, but like me preparing and getting it set up. You know what I mean? I work the next 5 days, I believe. And then my kids have dentist appointments and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to get ahead too. And it's really the only time I have to do any type of recording. This is the Firefly tray that I just recently got. This is the Inferno, and I absolutely love it. I love that it has the little switch doodad right here. Naomi has another Firefly tray to where like it doesn't have like the outer thing. I don't know, hers works differently, and I absolutely adore that. This one I prefer because I like the little doodad to be on the outer. And I just got like my cover minders and my tweezers in there. I feel like I'm just lagging because I don't have a plan today. Let's do this blind. You got this, Marissa. It's fine. You know how to talk. I don't. I don't. Let's start talking about the plans that I have for coming up. I have decided that this Fairy 6 canvas, this one with the big old fairy, is my leisure canvas. Like, I find myself wanting to savor it, and I want it to be done because it's beautiful and I love the art and it's just unique. But at the same time, I don't want it to be done because I want to savor it. So I think I'm going to use it for now as like my in-between of like when I need a break of another canvas, so I can just get that reset, because this one, I don't want it to end. I love the color scheme. I love the art. I love the amount of confetti versus color blocking. I love the colors. Like, I already said that, but I just, I don't know. Like, and it's huge. And then I have this, which I'm already almost done with. It's rounds. Rounds work up quicker. It's just a super easy canvas to do. I wanted to get this one done pretty quick too, because I'm giving it as a gift and I want to be able to have time to save up to get it framed. So, yeah, I kind of just breezed through it. One, it's easy. It's very easy to get lost in the movements because it's so well charted. Yeah, and then I think what I'm gonna do next is kit up my my winter bundle, because I'm in the mood. Like, 'tis the season, and they're mini canvases from Enablers Outpost. Elizabeth did the art on her own, and I am here for it. They're so freaking cute. They're rounds and squares, and they're tiny canvases, which I think is what I need right now, because I'm gonna also be doing the Margaret Morales. The Margaret Morales's, what is it called? Oh my God, it's an event. Naomi's doing the event and I am participating in that. So I want something to kind of work on in between. And two, I really want to try Enablers Outposts diamond painting, and I need something quick and easy because that's when we get into January. Now for Margaret Morales, we have December and January to do the canvas. So I just wanted something to work on in between so I don't finish it too quickly. I am also pretty new to working on multiple canvases, and I got that idea because I got these two at about the same time. This one I knew for 100% fact the art was chosen by me. This is what I wanted, and I'm just finding myself wanting to savor it. This is just easy to work on. It's absolutely stunning. It's round, and I want to give it as a gift. And then I want to try Enablers Outpost, and what better way than to actually do it? So I'm kind of just floating here and accepting that I bit off more than I can chew, because I thought for sure I would have this done and this done. But that's not the case. I also did some bookmarks recently, which came out super freaking cute. And I'm just finding myself in an era that I want to do everything. So I'm just going to go with the flow and do everything until I can't. I started off with being like, I only want to do one canvas at a time, which I have done. I worked on multiple canvases one other time, but I think it was just 2 at a time. And part of me feels like, oh, I'm not getting anything done. Like, I don't see the progress. But then the other part is I haven't gotten burnt out or bored of what I'm working on since I started working on multiple canvases. So like, which is it? Which do I like more? I don't know. I'm just here, okay? That's really all it is now I am doing what I can because I'm working so much that I don't have the leisure time to get everything done at once like I was doing before. I don't have many hours anymore to work on what I want to work on and know, oh, I'll have this done in a week so I can start that anyways. So now I'm going to start it because I want to. It's really that simple. And it's different. And I think it's just another thing of season of change and trying different things now. So yeah, and then I talked about my birthday canvas. So I'm hoping I can work on some of the Enabler Outpost mini sets. And then my birthday canvas is going to be the Muni Made 9 Tails. And then that one's also going to be in the Black and Pink event that Dark and Creepy, Mushmallow, and Craftiest Kristen are hosting, and I'm super excited to see the canvases for that one. I don't know if I'm going to be like uber on top of it for like the prizes or something, but I think it would be cool to kind of just enter it and work on it for my birthday month, which is January. And then like I said, in between all of those, when I just need a good reset, this is going to be like my perfect reset leisure canvas that I'm going to be working on in between all of them. When I get about halfway, I'll probably do a update on that, maybe a WIP parade, because apparently I work on multiple canvases now. Like I started off with just, I want one canvas at a time, and that's just not, I have a glare. I don't like this time change thing, or not time change, but like the sun is at different angles, like it's going down earlier and coming up later, I guess, and it's causing a glare at the normal times that I record, which it wasn't doing that before. So that's just a little frustrating. I'm excited to finish this one. I am going to have a post review of it eventually. Captured by Radiance. I feel so spoiled by them. And then I put up a poll on my YouTube community tab. By the time this goes up, it would probably be about a week old because I record in like a week in advance or so. So I have time to edit my videos and get what I can up, or at least have something to edit to put up. So yeah, about considering doing a no-buy. But before I fully jump into that no-buy, I want to buy one specific canvas from Captured by Radiance. You'll see what it is eventually. But I think after that, I need to do a no-buy and just get some canvases out of my stash and work on them. God, my placement is atrocious today. Because I have a couple Fallon gems on the way. I want to get through my enablers one, and then I just want to keep my stash somewhat reasonable so that I'm not just buying and buying and buying and buying, and it's stuff that I never eventually get to, because there's so much out there that I want to do, but at the same time, I need to keep it somewhat realistic. Especially now that I'm actually seeing how little time I do have to diamond paint in YouTube compared to what I had before I was working. Now, if I ever get to the point where I don't work again, yeah, I could 100% go back to what I was doing. But at the same time, this also means that the money that I'm making from work can go back into the channel some once business picks up more from my husband's end too. So that's just kind of my plan. My 1-year anniversary on YouTube and diamond painting is April 1st. And it's already what, December? Or no, it's November. I know how to count. I know things. So it's November. Thanksgiving is coming up here in a few days. When this goes up, it might be after Thanksgiving. And then we have December, January, February, March. So it's only 4 or 5 months. And I just did a 5-month no-buy. So I might keep doing that to where I have a couple months of the year where I buy and get it out of my system. And then consciously try to make it an effort to use what I'm getting. I don't know. They're just ideas. I might not stick to it. I mean, if there's something that it comes out that has to be like a must-have. Plus, if I get canvases for free, to do sneak peeks and stuff like that, that's not going to count towards my no-buy, obviously. And I do try to work on the canvases that I get because I love to see post reviews and stuff like that. And I really want to be able to do that. And yeah. I think I've been talking too long about this. I think I want to put the purple putty in this because this is like this. This is a hard placer. It's working fine, but I feel like it does better and like holds better, especially since this is a bigger placer and the DAC tips tend to bend on me. And since I have to press so hard to get this blue alien putty to work, I'm scared I'm going to bend my tip. But the purple seemed to stick a lot better than the blue. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, I guess that's kind of my plan for diamond painting. You guys will be seeing this one underneath other diamond paintings for a long while to come. Just because I find myself, like I get hyper fixated. I guess I'm still talking about it. I get hyper fixated. So this one I kind of hyper fixated because I wanted to make sure I get it done before Christmas. And in enough time that I could save money to get it framed and also get it hung as the present. And then I really want to do the winter ones because I'm in the seasonal mood. Now, Christmas really gets me going. I love, we start watching Christmas movies November 1st. Like, as soon as Halloween's over, it is Christmas over here. Now, I normally don't put up my Christmas tree until, a week before Christmas. But I've had bad luck with trees, and I think almost every year to every other year, I get the plastic trees that you kind of just put up, and they break all the time on me. I don't know if my family's just ridiculously rough on plastic Christmas trees or whatnot. I know one year our Doberman, before he had passed, knocked over a tree constantly trying to get the bulbs off. And then we haven't really experienced much with Charlie yet. The Christmas tree was up when we got him last year. he was so tiny still, he was connected to me and the leash. Like, I don't let puppies free roam my house. They don't get that privilege until they've proven they could listen to some basic commands. So he was never like free rein. He was only, I think we got him December 13th and he was 8 weeks old. And then of course through Christmas, it's only 2 weeks. So he was only like, what, 3 months old and connected to a leash for months to come after that until we knew we could trust him a little bit more and he would make better choices. Because I am not risking, you know, a puppy getting hurt over a damn Christmas tree. Like, that's just not. So I'm excited to kind of see how this year happens. I don't know. We'll see. I think he'll do fine. Maybe a little bit more crate time if we're not home or if I go to pick up the kids. Sometimes, like, he comes with me every morning to drop the kids off. Like, that is his ride. That's his little pick me up, wake me up. But if I go to pick the kids up from school, I might just take him with me when we have the Christmas tree, which is going to create a monster because then he's going to think he has to go with me every time I leave the house. So, I don't know. We'll see what a monster I create after this. 3, 6. See, but then the alien putty's working so good now. I'm not having to press too hard. I think once it warms up, it's not as sticky. I'm liking it so far, though. This is still the first round that I put in a week ago. Or when I got this. Whenever it was that I got this. It's been days. And the ghost seems to be working a little bit better. I'm getting it in there. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to do the apologies for hearing Charlie huffing and puffing at the beginning of the video. I think that's just standard. If you hear a dog panting in the background, that's because I have a dog panting in the background, I guess. I tend to play with him pretty hard in the mornings and before I record, otherwise he is just obnoxious. And we don't want an obnoxious puppy, we just want a happy, well played with puppy. Oh, let me tell you about my shift from hell. Okay, so remember how last WIP and Chat, I was talking about how I didn't know if I was sick. It might be allergies. I was snuffling. I've got to admit, I was sick. I was in denial. I had a conversation about me being in denial about being sick. Like, it is what it is. I'm a pansy, and I think sickness is allergies, okay? So I am the jerk that went to work sick thinking like, oh no, it's been over a week or it's been a week and I'm better now. Like, there's no way I could still be sick because I would go hours. And I mean hours feeling fine. And then I would be like an hour or two of just feeling like complete dog shit. So I was like, do you know what? I think this is just me getting over it. Because, you know, you have that period of time where everything's draining and coming out of you. It's like, okay, you're not sick. Now let's get rid of all of this extra shit. Well, I thought that that's where I was at in it, and I went to work and I let them know, like, hey, I'm still getting over this cold, like, and I kind of explained my symptoms. I hadn't had a fever in days. I felt fine, had great energy, but then I would just kind of waver. It would go back and forth, and I'm telling them this, and then the shift started. I had a party of anywhere from 80 to 120 people. It started off with kind of separate tabs, and then they decided that they were just going to do one really large tab, anywhere from $1,400 to $1,800 for their bar tab. But that's not including food or anything like that. They had their own buffet or whatever, and they did that with the owners. They had bands and whatnot. I'm like, oh, this is great, you know, because parties like that are easier to do. You literally have to put it on one tab and it's easier instead of trying to remember what 80 different people want individually. And I was like, this is great because I'm starting to feel like crap now, of course, because you know how when you're sick, you're feeling bad the later the day gets. And is that the truest thing freaking ever. My shift starts out, it's going great, and then, you know, everyone's showing up, and I get an order of 22 drinks. I write them down, and we were having problems with the computer, like we were trying to figure out how to get it all on one tab with multiple servers and bartenders, so we had to figure out a code that we could use that everyone has access to. And it started off with us, okay, before we figure this out, since this is happening now, We'll just write the orders down and then tally it later and add it to the tab later when we get it figured out. So I started that. I had the 22 tabs. I made the drinks myself and I left the ticket there and I said, hey, this just needs to be added to the tab for the tally. You know, add it to the tally and then we'll put it all in the computer at once. I guess the other bartender misunderstood me and started remaking the order. And I had a tray of 15 drinks on it and I was just gonna carry the rest after because it's all my tray could carry. And plus it was kind of heavy. I get to the door and of course it's out on the front patio. They have a band going. And when you're inside the bar, you push the door with your foot and it opens outward. So that's fine. I go to kind of kick the door at the same time someone opens the door and their head is turned and they can see. They didn't see me. They were talking to someone else that was standing beside the door as they were coming in. So they tipped the tray up and it went down. I was wearing overalls and it went all down my overalls. Every cup, beer bottle fell. We only had one casualty though. One beer bottle broke and it wasn't even like, it was just a Dos Equis bottle of beer. Fine. This comes into point of me having to, I end up putting the tray down and inside my overalls, you know, I have that front flap that you like hook or whatever, was full of just ice and I can feel it trickling down my pants, down my shirt. It's getting into TMI, my underwear, it's just getting everywhere. So I bend forward and I get everything out of my overalls, right? And I go back to the bar and I'm trying to clean it up and thank goodness the bartender misunderstood me and was already remaking the drinks that I had already made because she saw the tickets there. And it turned out it was the second bartender because the first bartender heard me, just didn't tell the second bartender. So good. Those drinks are already underway. So I pick those drinks up again and we get the drinks out, which is fine. And I'm starting to feel more fatigued and tired. And it's like did I drop those drinks because someone was coming in and bumped into me, or like I was anticipating them bumping into me? And it's just like that thing, like, is this somehow my fault? Because I'm an overthinker. They swear to me, everything's fine, whatever. They got their drinks, they're happy. The nicest group of people. I feel like I'm dragging this story out, but it is what it is. And then, you know, we finally get the computers working and the ticket gets put in the register, and I didn't realize that it would reprint if I hit don't make, but they didn't see the don't make thing. So now this order is getting made for the third time. Whatever, they're making it. A lot of the people are drinking the same things. We're gonna get through it anyways. And a lot of it was bottles of beer, a couple glasses of wine that were like Cabernet Merlot that aren't going to go bad if they get warm, because we can just put the bottles of beer in the ice. Like we have a separate ice tub. So the most they can do is go a little bit flat if they're sitting there for a really long time. We ended up going through all the drinks. Thank goodness. Now, when it came to the margaritas, scotch and sodas, whiskey on the rocks, and those things, I kind of advertised them more like, oh, hey, do you know what? We have a few extra, you know, I had to work it a little bit to sell those drinks that were remade for a third time. But it worked out. We ended up going through them all and everyone was super happy. So I'm super sticky at this point. I can't get my overalls to dry because it's cold and our propane isn't working because we normally have these heaters and we have the kitchen trying to figure out how to make it work. They start getting it working before it's too cold and it's just making me more and more and more sticky. So I ended up taking the top part of my overalls and like just leaving it hanging down and then putting my fanny pack over it because I work out of a fanny pack. And I end up going into the women's restroom so that I can try to use a wet towel and get the stickiness, TMI again, out of my bra, under my armpits. Like it literally dripped down to like inside my pants. Like at this point, I'm just so sticky. And in our bathroom stall, we have hooks that you hang your purses on or your jacket or whatever. So you're not trying to, you know, carry all this stuff while you're sitting on the toilet trying to get your pants down, up and whatever. So we have those hooks and I'm like bending over trying to get my overalls situated. And I'm trying to dry off and I kept feeling this like kind of tug and twist in my hair But I was like, do you know what? Like, yeah, I'm probably just hitting that hook. I didn't realize I was attaching my head to the bathroom stall via hook. So I finally get some of the stickiness off. I'm a little irritated, like my skin's irritated, not me being like mad. I was in a fantastic mood, even after all of that. I finally go to like lift my head up and realize my hair, because I had it up in a bun, is so tangled in the hook of the bathroom stall that I can't detach myself. I'm finally getting the sticky stuff off. Like my overalls are situated in a way that aren't irritating me. And I blindly have to like reach for the latch to open it, and my head's turned this way. Okay, so we open the stall and my head's still this way and the mirror is on this side. So I'm trying to find a way to like turn my head without ripping my scalp off to look in the mirror to try to detach myself. It doesn't work. I'm fucking stuck to the bathroom door in the bathroom with a party of 80 to 120 people. They said the first wave would be like 80, and then as people leave and the night goes on, people were showing up. That's where we got those numbers from the party people. Anyways, I finally, and like this is the one time, you know how normally like you're at a party like this and it's a ton of people, there's always someone in the bathroom? That wasn't the case. I didn't get anybody in there for a good 5 fucking minutes. I didn't have my phone on me. All right, I'm not the type to have my phone in my pocket while I'm working. I use all of my pockets and it's just in the way. So I'm trying to detangle and it's hurting more and more. And every time I move, it's hurting more and more. My scalp was sore for like 4 days. Finally, someone walks in and she's like, oh, honey, we were wondering where you were because, you know, like you make an impression with who you're serving with. And I had 2 other servers, but I basically took on the role of head server for the party. Like I will get in there. I love big parties. Like I want to be there. I want to make sure everything you need is there. I want to have fun. I want to crack jokes. I want to dance with you. Like I am that one. And she finally starts to detach me. She's like, how did you manage this? And she's like, I'm going to have to, like, I'm twisting, I'm turning. She's twisting my hair and turning, and it's getting ripped out. And finally, we get myself detached from this damn door. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm trying to, like, re-get my hair up in a bun, and it hurts. So I ended up doing the traditional messy bun. You know, like, you know how everyone talks about moms having that traditional messy bun, but I had to do it loosely because my head hurt so freaking bad, and I'm sticky and I'm sneezy, and now I'm starting to get vertigo. So I'm like woozy almost. So I finally get some broth and I eat because our cooks are amazing. Like our chefs are amazing. And I'm like, okay, I think I just need to take some Tylenol. And then I took allergy medicine, and I didn't realize that it would make me kind of tired and mess with me. So I tried to not take cold medicine. And then I get another thing of big orders, and it was all bottled beer. And bottled beer is already kind of precarious. If you grab one and you barely tap the next one over, they could all knock over. Well, I did that. I knocked over 6 beers. So not only did I drop 15 drinks, the order was made 3 times. The second time would have been a mistake if I hadn't dropped it. It would have just been extra drinks. And then it got made a 3rd time. I got my head stuck to a door. Missed like 15 minutes of serving. So of course the order that I finally get after missing 15 minutes was huge. I knock over 6 beers, and it's progressively just getting worse. So I'm finally handing out these drinks, and I have the tray's empty at this point, thank God. And my hip hits the corner of a patio table, and our patio tables, they look nice, but they're lighter because they're made out of like a plastic with like epoxy on top, and then it has like the metal stools, and then you could like lift the leaves or whatever. So they're a little bit lighter. They're still hard, but they're a little bit lighter, and I hit the corner with my hip and knock over the whole fucking table. So all of the drinks and all of the food on that table, because the group was up and dancing. So the table was like empty, and I was just kind of clearing out the empty glasses, trying to take some of the empty plates, you know, and just kind of clean and organize. Well, I guess I turned too sharply, or I don't even know how it happened, but I knock over their whole table. So I'm trying to clean that up. I have to replace their drinks. I don't know what they're drinking because it's shattered on the ground and I didn't pay attention to the color. It wasn't ending. It wasn't ending. And it's getting worse and worse. And everybody's there kind of laughing at me and they're like, oh, look, it's the shit show, you know? And I'm holding it together, but barely. And at this point, I'm just like crying. I have a bruise the size of a softball on my hip. I'm limping, I'm sticky, my head hurts because of the damn door, and it's just not ending. And it eventually gets to the point where it's finally starting to slow down, and it's been hours. And like where my skin rubs together, TMI, but you know where your pelvic area is and your legs meet your hips and they can kind of rub together? Well, it's still sticky because I had beer and cocktails and everything spilled down my overalls. So now that's starting to get sore and agitated from the friction. So I'm just irritated all freaking over. And they're like, you gotta go home. And I'm in a great mood through all this. I'm laughing. I'm pretending like I could get it together. And they're like, I think you're about done. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like basically crying at this point. Like, I swear I know how to do my job. And they're like, trust me, we've already established that. But I don't think tonight's gonna get any better. I'm like, okay, well, let me hand out, the last few drinks that I put in. Let me clean everything, make sure we have backups and all of our side work. And I want to make sure the other servers are set up. Another server, when they were they overheard the conversation, I guess, about someone being ready to let go. You're not like fired, but like, hey, someone can go home. They were talking about me. Well, I think they thought it was about them. So they left. So I couldn't leave, of course. And of course, it was just a miscommunication. Like, they're fine, and I absolutely love this woman. And I was like, damn it, so now I can't leave, even though I got my hopes up thinking that I could leave. It got to the point where they would try to hand me the drink physically so that I wouldn't freaking drop it. And at some point, our hands would, like, miss. She'd have the drink here, and I would just, like, grab at air, and she'd let go, thinking that I was about to grab it, and it would just fall. We did that like 4 times and they were like, okay, you're rubbing off on me now. And that was the inside joke of like shit show shenanigans is what we called the night. And yeah, so I finally got to go home and I still have no idea how much I made. It's been like a week and I still haven't picked up my money from that because they had a deal, I guess, with them or whatnot. And then I haven't picked it up and I kept forgetting about it. So I eventually need to pick up the money from that party because I think I beat myself up enough for it. Oh my goodness. And then, so at this point, it's been like 2 weeks of being sick. I still am a little bit snuffly, but I feel so much better. Then my son wakes up sick. So I have a feeling I'm going to be getting sick again because of course I am. And my son is sick. So I'm just kind of expecting it at this point. And we will see if I get it. And then I finished Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They totally did Anya wrong. I was sobbing, ugly crying. My husband was real confused because he didn't realize that I was watching like the grand finale. And he was like processing the deer meat because my husband's back. More on that in a minute. But he's like processing the deer meat and he comes into the living room and I'm like ugly crying. He's like, oh my God, is everything okay? Is anyone hurt? Like what's happening? I'm like, she's dead. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna leave there. He was real confused and real upset. Was like, who? And I finally talk about it and he's like, oh my God, it is a show. Like you are fine. Like stop it. It was really funny. So he picks on me now, which is fine because I get to pick on him about his little hunter buddies and their little bromance. And it's just an even trade of talking shit. And I absolutely love it. And yeah, so Buffy pissed me off. So I haven't started Angel yet. And I think I need to soon. I think I'm almost ready. I think my heart's a little bit more mended. I've come to accept how they decided to end Buffy. Okay, that's just where we're at. I haven't really been reading a lot recently. I've been doing a lot of trying to catch up on just fellow YouTubers stuff. So that's what I've been doing with my little bit of time that I've had to either read or watch some content. It is so nice having my husband back in town. And speaking of which, in the video that I put up last week, I got a comment stating, hey, I don't think you should put that you're alone on YouTube, you know, while you're alone. And I just want to say thank you so much for caring. Yeah, no, I am conscious of that. I don't put when I'm alone when I'm actually alone. I record, you know, I try to do it like a week before, so whatever had happened kind of passes, especially since I do know my family goes out of town and I don't want people to know exactly when. So thank you. Like, that meant a lot to me, and it shows me like I am building a community and y'all care and I care too. So thank you. But yeah, so he's back. He got a little buck and I finally got to taste some of the meat last night, and oh my God, it was like a grilled steak that he had seasoned and it was delicious. See, this is not doing it for me. So the meat is amazing. He wants to put the scroll up on our freaking wall, which is no surprise. We already have 3 up there. So I've just decided to accept that my wall will be full of skulls eventually. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it is what it is. And he decided to, I was really excited. So I think I mentioned it in another WIP and Chat. I don't remember which one. He had gotten me a gift to open while he was gone. Well, the gift never showed up. It turns out something had happened and there was a ton of delays, and of course he didn't know until now. So I still have a gift coming, but he is happy that he gets to witness me opening it instead of it just being a surprise when he's gone. So he's like, it's almost a blessing in disguise. He was like, I was kind of sad that I was gonna miss your original reaction and just kind of get the aftermath. So that is pretty cool. He is out on a bid right now, and then he'll be back to finish processing the rest of the meat. There's a ton of meat. I forget how big. I think it was whitetail, or was it mule? I forget the two. I just nod and say okay when I don't understand what he's talking about. But it was the bigger of the two, and there's so much meat. So much more meat than I was anticipating. I'm used to him hunting the smaller ones. So this was a nice little shock, and the back straps are huge, which I'm so excited for because the last deer, of course, was a smaller breed of deer, so there's obviously not going to be as much meat. So I didn't have that much meat to dehydrate because like whatever scraps there are, even the parts that he doesn't want to use for like ground venison, I am using, I just want to see how this one does. I am going to dehydrate it like I've done many times before, for my pup. And I use them as treats so that Charlie could have some fresh, dehydrated venison treats. Because dog treats can be expensive, and it's healthy for him. Like some of the silver skin and just like the little scraps that can just go towards my pup. And he is stoked. He has had so much fresh deer. Like, he thinks it's owed to him now. And it made me reminisce and think of Moose, which was our Doberman. He had passed away because he was sick and just overall had been unhealthy his whole life. But yeah, I loved being able to do that and share this process with Charlie for the first time. So now, whenever Dad comes back smelling stinky and like deer, he knows he's gonna get some. Like, I need to talk to my husband about it. It sits next to my husband and lays there and lays like where he has to physically be touching my husband the whole time he's there, like cleaning the meat and doing all that stuff. And I'm like, honey, you better not be just dropping pieces for him to have. You better be making him work for those treats. He's like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, puppy push-ups, basic commands, a trick, something. You can't just be freely, here you go, Charlie. He's going to have certain expectations from you from now on if you keep doing that. But what do I know? Don't tell me how to bond with our dog. He says, I want him to get fresh treats. I'm like, that's fine. Just make him work for it. But I don't think we'll ever agree on that. He said, he's helping me. He's making sure I don't drop stuff. I'm like, you mean the stuff you're dropping on purpose? Because my dog does this little happy dance and moos at him and talks to him the whole time. And he thinks it's the cutest thing ever. And I'm like, and I could hear it. Like, I hear her antics in the kitchen. And it'd be like when I'm folding laundry or, you know, because processing meat, we take our time because he wants it done right. If you get all the silver skin off before you freeze the meat for the first time, it won't taste gamey. So that's what he's doing. And yeah, I'm stoked. And Charlie is lapping it up. But yeah, I could hear their antics. Like, he'll be like, oh, I think I'm gonna drop this piece. And he'll start being all cute and doing all the baby puppy talk. And, you know, and Charlie starts doing his woo, woo, woo yodeling and, you know, and just excitement. And he'll be like, uh-oh. And I'm like, dude, you're making it so obvious. Stop it. I don't hear you giving basic commands. And it's just cute. And it's not like a serious argument. This is just our funny banter. Like, it's just, you know, our banter. And I'm just so happy he is home. Like, I have missed him. And I don't sleep well while he's gone. And I've been sleeping so good. And I think I'm going to get what my son got, because I'm already feeling snuffly and my throat's starting to itch. At least it's not hurting though. But yeah, so far I don't know 100% for sure. I might still be getting over whatever I've had for the past forever. It wasn't COVID though. Thank you for listening to me ramble and get all excited because I've missed you this week. Okay, so I recorded my WIP and Chat, and then I went to go check the mail, and I got a present. And this is from Nancy with Pampered with Diamonds. And I saw her little video saying, like, what she did and the little gift that's in here. And I'm so stinking excited for this. So I figured I would just pop this into the video because this is so sweet. And I want to say thank you so much for thinking of me. And who doesn't like little gifts and little doodads? Like, the thoughtfulness and generosity of this woman is something to behold. Like, so freaking thoughtful. We got a little thing, and I'm pretty sure she would have decorated this herself. Oh, how cute is this? The little stockings. Let's see what we got inside. It says, thank you for helping out me at the beginning of my YouTube career. You will always hold a special place in my heart. Hello, Marissa. And then it says, I hope your season is decorated with everything that makes your Christmas or makes your heart happy. Merry Christmas. Your friend Nancy, Pampered with Diamonds. I'm assuming that you are the best person in the world. That's all I have to say. I think this is the cutest thing ever. Now, what she did, oh no, okay, is took stickers, right? Oh, this is so cute. I freaking love this. It's a little present with a little sticker thing. Okay, hold on. I gotta stop being distracted. And she put together some of her extra special diamonds right here. She did some dot stick on this. And I think, oh, she did. She put it directly on the skateboard and on the eye so that I could do the little doodad. I'm gonna do that right now, actually, before my daughter gets a hold of it, because she so would take over my little project. And she gave me little stickers. It says, if we weren't all crazy, we would just go insane, with a little margarita. Isn't that so cute? And then we got a little sloth playing the drums. My mom probably would want this. My mom used to want to be a drummer, which I think is absolutely hilarious because I think she would be so good at it. Let me find a little tray. I want to do this on camera. Okay, I got my little art dot tray. Like, she even went through and color coordinated it instead of being like, hey, here you go. Like, how freaking cute is that? Okay. I'm going to use my Enabler's Outpost pen. Oh, so we have the pretty jeweled. I think I'm going to use a regular diamond on the eye. Put it right there. And then I want to use the bejeweled diamonds on the green for the skateboard. Because who doesn't like blinged out skateboards? Or wait. No, I'm going to do this. Because I have two really dark ones too. Maybe, okay, so I'm going to put this dark bejeweled one right here. And then I think I'm going to move this one. Oh, it might be stuck there for life. Right there. And then I have another super dark bejeweled one here. Just for the tips. And then put this here. And then I do have, oh, one more. Yes, okay. This one right here. And then I'm going to sneak in just a regular one so it's consistent. Green right here. And then I'm going to put a few purple along the bottom right here. Like she painted on the glue stick or diamond dots, stick dots, something like that on here herself, and then allowed me to find the placement. And then she even said in her video, you could do your own diamonds too, but she provided these. Like I wanted to do it there. Okay. I think I covered all the glue. I'm not feeling anything else sticky. I don't know where I'm going to put this yet. Probably on my art dot storage thing. But look how cute that is. Thank you so much, Nancy. This was so thoughtful and just a perfect little pick-me-up before I figure out if I have to go to work or not. Thank you. Oh, so sweet. Thank you. All right, I'm just gonna boop this right into my WIP and Chat, and yeah. All right, my beautiful little sparkle butts. I do have a few things to go over, and that is we still have our survey live. It'll be live until February 1st, and then me and Naomi will start separating what we're going to talk about, going over the answers. We have well over 100 answers so far, and I would love for that to keep growing. If you haven't taken it yet, please do. It would be greatly appreciated, and you are able to share it with anyone everywhere if you would like. All right, and then my second one is the benefits series. This is nothing new. I want to help share your story about diamond painting, how it either helps you or benefits you, or just a funny anecdotal story in general. And yeah, my email is diamondsandthoughts@gmail.com. I can keep you anonymous. And I think I'm going to leave this here. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.